John and I were on our way back to Kentucky to visit with our son and granddaughter and other family members and friends. We were stopped in a long line of traffic, about 2 miles long, in a construction zone when a Celadon tractor trailer slammed into the rear of our vehicle. This was a trip and a route that we had taken many, many times before, but this time changed our lives forever. John was one of those rare individuals who was just extremely kind and generous. He enjoyed immensely helping people. If he wasn't taking care of me or doing something for our children or our grandchildren, he was helping another family member or a friend. He was fixing someone's lawnmower, building a patio cover, taking someone to a doctor's appointment. He just took great pleasure in doing that. He was all about helping other people, and I find it strangely ironic that a trucking company who was so irresponsible took the life of someone so responsible. That truck driver had been diagnosed with severe uncontrolled sleep apnea about 2 months prior to the collision, and yet he was still allowed to climb into that truck and drive. In addition to that, he had COPD, diabetes, high blood pressure, was on several medications for those health issues. He was a heavy smoker, severely overweight, and complained often about being tired and sleepy during the day. Yet Celadon still hired that gentleman and put him in a truck. He had been turned down by 30 other trucking companies for health reasons prior to being hired by Celadon. We absolutely believe he was asleep. We were on a section of highway that was essentially straight and flat. He should have seen that construction mess a mile or more back, and he did not. He was doing 65 with his cruise control engaged when he hit us. We just simply could not sit back and do nothing. So we formed the Wanda Lindsay Foundation, and our mission, our goal, is to try to help educate the public on the dangers of sleep apnea, particularly in the commercial motor vehicle industry. And it's estimated that nearly a third of the truck drivers have some form of sleep apnea. Schneider National has a wonderful sleep apnea program, one that is well worth modeling. And they have proved that their sleep apnea program has lowered their major crashes, lowered their medical costs, and increased driver retention. So why wouldn't a truck company want to do that? Well, they have to. What motivates them? Has to be a profit, has to be the bottom line, I'm assuming. So we need to do whatever we need to do to get the trucking industry to step up and be proactive about sleep apnea. We did file a lawsuit against Celadon. We did settle, but one of the provisions out of that settlement was that I would be able to say Celadon whenever I wanted to and to tell everything about the crash and everything about the settlement. Ironically, even though they did settle, we got the largest settlement that they'd ever had, and they did admit that sleep apnea caused the collision. As far as we've been able to determine, they've done nothing to address sleep apnea among their drivers. So we have got to do something that will force the trucking industry to step up and address this problem. Guidance is not going to get it. They're ignoring guidance, so there's going to have to be regulations. Don't forget those of us who are survivors or victims, we've lost loved ones. Don't forget us when you're making your laws and you're talking about all of these collisions. We matter. The people matter. Don't just relegate us to numbers and statistics.